today's video, I will be differentiating between the types of survival floating and kicks in swimming. Knowing how to float in the water for long periods of time could save your life in an emergency. So here are the types of floating. The first one is prone float. The prone float or dead man's float is one of the first techniques learned by new swimmers. The prone float allows you to feel what's like to have your feet leave the floor of the pool. In addition, it can help you build confidence in both yourself and the ability of the water to hold you up. A prone float is also the starting position for every face down swimming stroke. So the second one is tack float. The tack float position is assumed face down in the water. The head is held in line with the trunk and the legs are flexed or tackled under the chest where they are grasped by the hands. The third one is jellyfish float. This float is aptly named for its proper execution as it looks like a jellyfish bubbling in the water. The technique is quite straightforward. Standing in the waist deep water, the swimmer takes a deep breath, puts his face in the water, arms hanging down, and allows the water to support his body. The swimmer lifts his feet off the bottom and his body bobs to the surface in the ball-like form. Some swim instructors teach the swimmers to grab their ankles when learning that technique. The fourth one is starfish float. A starfish or float is when you lie on your back or front in the water with your arms and legs spread in the shape of a star and float on the surface of the water. Another is the different types of kickings. Kicking drives speed, controls body position, and is essential in the timing of all strokes. Legs are the best understood part of the body, and the faster you can kick, the faster you can swim. The first one is flutter kick. The flutter kick is a simple and efficient kick used in the front crawl or freestyle stroke, but it also in the backstroke. Both legs are kept parallel fairly straight and quickly flutter up and down with their toes pointed. Second one is whip kick. The whip kick is often compared to the way a frog jumps, except that your knees are kept closer together. It is the kick used to generate forward motions in the breaststroke, a popular stroke with all levels of swimmers. The third one is scissors kick. A scissors kick in which the legs open slowly, under leg backward, upper leg forward, both knees slightly bent and toes pointed. The scissoring action of the legs coming smartly together after the opening creates the forward propulsions of the kick. The fourth one is vertical kick. Vertical kicking is a challenging drill great for promoting an efficient flutter kicks. Instead of kicking across the pool along the surface of the water, vertical kicking takes a place in a stationary position in the deep end. The challenge of this drill lies in keeping your nose and mouth above the surface. The fifth one is dolphin kick. The dolphin kick is the kicking technique performed in the butterfly stroke. The legs moves in sync and perform movements similar to a dolphin's tail. Lastly, the frog kick. It is a type of kick in which the legs are bent at the knees, extended outward, and then brought together forcefully. In addition, why do we need to learn to float before we go swimming? Learning to float is like learning to swim and is of the utmost importance for two reasons. First, it gives us the ability to self-rescue in the event we fall into a pool or body of water. The second reason, which pertains more to the ability to swim, is that floating demonstrates an understanding of buoyancy and the ability to control how to stay on the surface of the water. Controlling buoyancy is essential to learning to swim independently and efficiently as all swimming really is using the arm and legs to propel oneself through the waters while floating. Without the ability to float, controlled and sustained independent swimming is impossible, and students will always rely on having the bottom to stand on a person to hold them, a flotation device or a wall to hold onto to stay safe in the pool. That's all for today's video. Thank you and God bless.